The room was a void of silence until the phone screen ignited. A harsh electric blue light cut through the dark, illuminating the wall and Luna's face. She swiped the glass, her thumb trembling slightly. Aplina's voice tore through the speaker, sharp and clipped. "We are already at the gate. Hurry up." Luna did not hesitate. She kicked the blankets aside, the sudden drop in temperature raising goosebumps on her skin. She grabbed her boots, jammed her feet inside, and hit the floor running. The front door swung open, and the night air bit at her lungs. She sprinted, her breath forming quick, jagged clouds in the freezing dark. Every step echoed against the empty pavement as she pushed toward the old industrial district. The streetlights flickered overhead, casting long, erratic shadows that stretched and snapped behind her. She did not look back. She navigated the maze of alleyways by memory, her heart hammering against her ribs with every stride. The industrial district loomed ahead, a skeleton of rusted iron and dead silence. She reached the factory perimeter, her chest burning, and saw the silhouette of the main entrance waiting in the gloom. Luna skidded to a halt at the factory entrance. Aplina, Ava, Harmony, and Nia stood under a single buzzing street lamp, their faces tight with expectation. They did not speak. They simply turned toward the massive steel doors that guarded the facility. Luna stepped forward, gripping the cold, rusted handle alongside the others. They leaned their weight into the metal, the hinges groaning in protest as the heavy barrier swung inward. Luna braced for the smell of stagnant oil and damp rot. Instead, a wave of warm, thick air hit her face. It smelled of molten sugar, peppermint, and toasted vanilla. She blinked, her eyes struggling to process the scene. The rusted machinery was gone. In its place, a sprawling landscape stretched out under the high ceiling. A river of deep, glossy chocolate wound through the center of the floor, channeled between polished glass pipes. Gumdrop trees stood in neat rows, their branches heavy with colorful, translucent fruit. The floor beneath her boots felt soft, like packed sugar. The harsh, industrial silence had been replaced by a low, rhythmic hum of candy presses working in the distance. The group stood frozen, the warmth of the room washing over them, turning the cold night into a distant memory. The initial shock faded, replaced by the rhythm of the facility. Aplina signaled toward the perimeter, and the group fanned out. They moved past the chocolate river, their boots crunching softly on the sugar-dusted floor. Luna reached the central assembly line, where a large animatronic bear stood frozen. Its jaw was locked wide, stuck mid-chew. Luna climbed the iron ladder, the rungs vibrating under her grip. She reached the bear's head, feeling the heat radiating. She pulled a small tool from her belt, wedging it into the casing. The metal groaned. She braced her feet and applied pressure. With a sharp, resonant click, the mechanism caught. The bear's jaw snapped shut, then resumed its smooth, rhythmic motion. Below her, Aplina and Ava were already at the candy presses, their hands moving in a blur as they stacked boxes. The factory hummed, the gears synchronized, and the production line flowed forward without another hitch. With the production line running smoothly, the group drifted toward the arcade wing. The air here vibrated with a different frequency. As they crossed the threshold, the room erupted. Rows of machines flickered to life, bathing the space in pulsing neon blues, electric pinks, and sharp violets. The low, mechanical hum of the factory was swallowed by a symphony of electronic chimes, rapid-fire beeps, and synthesized melodies. Luna leaned against a nearby pillar, watching as Harmony and Nia claimed the center stage. They stood before a massive machine shaped like a giant spiraling lollipop. The screen glowed with intense, swirling colors. Harmony gripped the controls, her fingers dancing across the buttons with practiced speed. Nia mirrored her intensity, eyes locked on the cascading patterns of candy icons. The game accelerated, the electronic music rising in tempo until it became a frantic, driving beat. They traded blows, clearing rows and triggering explosive combos that sent light cascading across the ceiling. Every successful match sent a fresh wave of chimes echoing through the wing. The energy in the room spiked, the competitive tension turning into laughter as the machines flashed in rhythm with their rapid movements. They were no longer workers, they were players. The arcade lights dimmed as the group retreated to the quiet warmth of the break room. They gathered supplies from the pantry, melting blocks of dark chocolate and spinning threads of sugar until the air grew heavy with the scent of cocoa. They dragged a heavy sofa into the center of the room, sinking into the cushions as the wall-mounted screen flickered to life. Outside the room, the factory gears slowed their pace. The sharp, mechanical clatter of the production line softened into a steady, rhythmic pulse. It was a sweet, mechanical lullaby, vibrating through the floorboards and the walls. Luna leaned back, watching the movie play out in the soft glow of the screen. The factory worked on, a giant, humming heart, keeping watch over them as they finally let the day come to a rest.